it's the 6th month of this unconventional route of working towards becoming an author, illustrator for children's picture books from scratch at the age of 36 with a 2-year-old. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jenny. So let's just review month 5 goals and set some new ones for this month. For month 5, I said I was going to finish the Good Ship Illustration picture book course content. I have been through it all now, but if you see my previous videos, you'll know that I have integrated Inktober with the picture book course together to create a dummy book I shall talk about later, because that's going to be in my goals for this coming month. It does lead me to my next point: daily drawing, Inktober, creating 31 illustrations, and I finished it. I did it. In my last video, I talked about what I've learnt, what I found helpful. At the end of that, I felt I was happy, but I was also really exhausted and just tired. I ended up taking a break. I missed out last week, so I'm hoping to kind of get back onto it this week. It genuinely took all of my energy. I was starting a new job. I work 2 days at a bookshop, and I also run a sketch club, as well as looking after my little one, who is 2 right now, and she's really growing up, likes to drop her naps now. She wants more playtime. There's school visits, so I am learning this part of being a mother, and trying to just be there for her, which also naturally means I've got fewer time for art and studies, but it's important to me and I will prioritize that to make sure I get my practice in. But with all that happening, I end up prioritizing Inktober completely last month, which meant that I didn't hit my final goal, which was to explore different mediums with the book. Fresh paint! I have set myself to do this book for 3 months now. I've not been able to do it. And to be honest, I think I have been putting this to last because maybe I feel a little bit overwhelmed. I enjoy playing with materials, but then it's where do I start? What do I go to first? Inktober allowed me to focus on one tool, one material, ink. And I did really enjoy it. Through this journey, I've learned that I'm a very purpose-driven person. Productivity makes me feel good. I enjoy having meaning behind the things that I do, and that is what gives me motivation. In the past, I started to draw without a purpose. If I'm basing it purely on my feelings, I literally start drawing patterns and swirls and become really abstract. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but for someone who wants to become an author illustrator, I think it's really important for me to master the skill of communicating through images, showing emotions and actions. Now I know my subject matter and the themes that gives me joy, plus the elements that are needed to make a picture book. I can focus on experimenting now and using different materials to create illustrations that has more purpose and meaning, and that feels more productive to me and less overwhelming. I feel like there is a clearer direction now, which I again will chat about later. Let's just continue. I did run 2 sketch clubs this month. It's been such a wonderful way to connect. We had a lady from Mexico who chose to spend her holiday with us. But yeah, hope to one day sketch with you as well. I'll put a link below if you fancy it. Finally, my last goal was to post an accountability journal once a week, and I have been, except for the break that I needed last week. With the juggling around that I've mentioned before, I will still be posting every week, but just not exactly sure which date that would be yet. But once I do decide, I will put it on my YouTube channel header. I really love doing these accountability journals. I chat about it every week. When I'm chatting like this, I'm the creator. I'm literally just talking through my feelings and through my heart. And when I'm editing the clip, my brain kind of kicks in. I see myself as a third person, and it's almost like therapy. Like, it is genuinely like my journal. Like, okay, write down my feelings, my thoughts, my aims, and then kind of reflect. What is it that I'm trying to say? What is it that I'm trying to do? I feel like when I chat to people about, oh, YouTube, I don't know, maybe I can't control what other people are feeling, but sometimes I do feel like, oh, maybe I'm talking about myself too much, like it's a little bit cringe, but this is the whole point of finding my visual voice. Like, this is a space for me to just be really honest and just lean into the clues I give myself through the actions I choose to take. There's something about leaving breadcrumbs for others that makes me feel less guilty to chat about my work authentically from my own experience. I was actually talking to my brother, who is an animator, about, oh, what's my next steps now? Like, oh, it's my month 6th, and I've got all of these ideas. I just don't know which one to kind of go to. And there's something about just talking. Like, he's not an illustrator, but he is an animator, so he does have like a creative background, and just talking to someone who is relatable really helps get my thoughts out. Even if he made suggestions and I don't go with them, that's not to say like he didn't make good suggestions. It's just that that's actually helping me figure out what it is that I want to do and what I don't want to do. And just being honest with that as well. Like, I think that's a good friend. Off rail, off rail, off rail. Right, so here are my 6-month art goals. Number 1 is to complete Folktale Week, which is an Instagram challenge. By the time this video goes out, it's already started. I've not posted anything yet. I only made the thumbnails like yesterday. I already had the story in my head. I gotta remember, like, this is a challenge. Yes, it would be great if I could like do it every day like everybody else, but that doesn't matter. The point is, it's a great brief. I love it. I've come up with a story, and I'll be making illustrations to go into my portfolio. That's why I'm turning up for it. If this is the first time that you're hearing about Folktale Week, it's an Instagram art challenge by a group of artists, illustrators, and it usually happens in the middle of November every year. It runs for 1 week. There are no rules. You just share how you interpretate the 7 prompts that are given. Everybody from any genre or materials are welcome. Some people actually make their own stories up, whilst others actually base it on existing folk tales. Unlike Inktober, where you ideally need to ink it on the day to create that daily practice, you can prepare this way in advance. As soon as you hear the prompts, I think it's like a month before, and start illustrating it and literally just show up on the day. I'll put a link below so you can check it out on Instagram. The second project that I have is to actually make a scene out of the Inktober Story. Now that I've got the images and text, I just want to see that process. Like, what does it take to create a picture book? If I wanted to make a scene out of it, what would that look like? And I just want to figure it out, because yeah, there's just no better way for me to learn something until I actually do it. And I'm really excited about that. I've been really into like the scene making world lately. So yeah, I can't wait to make my first scene this month. It's gonna be good. Okay, so my last goal, like, if I have enough time, like, I've taken already 1 week in November to rest, and then the second week, okay, so with those 2 goals, I don't think I'll have much time left, but if I do have any, make a start on a big project. It's a big one. And this kind of came about because I was thinking about what's my next steps after this. So I went back to the goals I set myself for this year. One of them was understanding my creative voice and start building on that visual language. I have started to understand it. I have an idea of the subject matter and the themes that I enjoy, especially now after going through the picture book. Like, it's given me the technical tools to create a picture book, but it still goes back to, how about the pictures? What are my tools when I want to make my ideas like visual? How do I communicate that? What makes me happy and excited artistically? Does it suit like my natural rhythm? And I know it's gonna be like an ever growing development, but I just want to figure out the baseline. I just really don't know, because I've not experimented or turned enough stones to see what materials I enjoy visually in a illustrative way. That all being said, the last goal I have for this month is to start a 100-day project, experimenting different materials, illustrating pictures relating to my favourite themes and subject matters. Yeah, it's gonna take me like 3 months, I think, to truly like go all in. Like, let's just do this. Let's just figure things out. Okay, it's getting like darker and darker. Like, this is also something that I'm up against. Sunlight. With that being said, I better get on with Folktale Week prompts, and I hope the week is treating you well. Remember to stay true to yourselves, and see you in the next one. Goodbye.